Mirror, mirror, fogged and loud, what truth today makes the future proud? Well, how about that? This is season 2 of The Filthy Mirror. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This season is all about the Wampus Cubs. And I want to speak directly to you because I never, ever, ever want you to be caged like I was. I have been caged 4 times in the last 15 months. I'm a middle aged white lady with a master's degree, no history, none of the charges stuck. I'm just too loud in this patriarchal world. Now, I have been howling Wampus Cubs for 8 months. 8 months. I've been howling about these arrests. I've been reaching out to my mayor. I have been posting about the horrors that I have survived. And guess what? It's been crickets. Part of that is because I am shadow banned and suppressed online as a dissident voice, as a controversial voice. Yet look at all of these talking heads that are allowed to say whatever they want online. But little old me from a tiny village in southwest Ohio and now living in a small mountain town, somehow I am a target. I am a problem. And I never, ever want any woman to have to endure what I've endured. And it can happen to anyone. We've seen this now with Renee Good. They will shoot a white woman in the streets, filmed for the whole world to see. And they will make excuses, and there will be no consequences. People that want to act like this is about immigration are missing the point. I know you feel it as a young person. If you're under 30, the last 9 years being completely hijacked by the patriarchy. See, I remember growing up in the 1980s and 1990s. I remember the hope. I remember the American dream. I remember the evidence of people working hard and building themselves up and building a nice life for themselves. I remember growing up in a matriarchal micro city where we didn't talk about rape, murder, kidnapping of women, erasure of women. We had no fear. We grew up in a tiny little town where the cops knew your dads and your granddads, and you didn't mess with the women. Now, I'm sure there's women that have horror stories that I didn't know about, but in general, we felt pretty safe and protected. And that is what I want for all women. I got to experience it for the first 18 years of my life. Now, not only am I scared to go outside sometimes, I'm absolutely not going to go protest in person because I am already targeted. My body has been through enough. I have scars all over my body from the arrests and what they do to you on the inside. Now, I need to be very, very clear, Wampus Cubs. None of the charges stuck. I was never given information really about what the charges even were or what was going on. I have scars of IV or needle injections that I don't remember. I definitely didn't consent to, because one of the things I learned quickly is refusing medical treatment is our right. So, all of the things I've learned about how to avoid being caged, about how to survive being caged, and what to do after, I'm going to share directly with you, Wampus Cubs, because the adults that I've been speaking to, my 25 years as a journalist, as somebody that helps support entrepreneurs and businesses through brand management, through content, helping and supporting thousands of women and businesses over the years, did over 100 episodes of the Great Reset podcast during COVID. I've done panels for women and hosted those and emceed those. I've written about so many businesses and helped support so many businesses. And yet, all of these people have turned their back on me because they somehow think that these 4 violent arrests are my fault. Just like the people arguing, well, if Renee would have complied, if she would have stayed out of the way, you keep hearing that argument, right? That's bullshit. They are coming after everyone that doesn't feed the system. They are implementing Agenda 2030, which is the great hollowing. They want to hollow out cities and make them surveillance states and basically just water and energy and blood and guts for the AI data centers. They want to watch everything we do. They want to suck us dry. They want to hollow us out. They want to hollow our cities out. And Wampus Cubs, I know that you're not okay with that. I know that you can feel that this is wrong. So my content isn't for people that still believe in a 2-party system. My content isn't for people above 30, most likely. My content is not for people who don't believe we can completely change the system and completely extinct the patriarchy and completely opt out of the ridiculous battle of the sexes. They have their agendas, but guess what, Wampus Cubs? The future is unwritten. As much as they want to steamroll us, have their plans, do all their backroom deals, be funded by the 3 asshole billionaires, as much as they think that they are completely in charge and there's nothing that we can do, I disagree. We have a 9-year plan to extinct the patriarchy, to build in the cracks that we're already seeing of the patriarchy. We just entered a new 9-year cycle. It's a cosmic, karmic soul cycle. Do you think that the universe favors war, brutality, caging women, violently arresting women? My first arrest was captured on TikTok. It was in the Savannah airport and it racked up 13 million views. And one of the moments that got the most attention was when a giant black man, who was one of the cops that circled me before I had done anything wrong, before I had even raised my voice. And this huge man attempted to tackle me in the airport. I wonder what would have happened to me if he would have tackled me. What arm or leg would I have broken? How much more pain I would have been in than I already was being tackled by 8 cops. But this is not some outlandish process. On the website, we outline how they manufacture crisis, how they target It can be based on what you do online or offline. And they both impact each other. So if you're targeted offline, you're targeted online. If you're targeted online, you're targeted offline. I don't want that for any of you Wampus Cubs. I believe in a rematriated future. I believe we can rebalance the masculine and feminine energies. I believe that women, especially, can tap into intuition, ancient codes passed down from the beginning of time. I believe in your right to be safe, to be sovereign, to be uncaged. You don't deserve what they've given you these last 9 years. I think about 15 to 24-year-old, those 9 years for you, or a 20-year-old to a 29-year-old, or a 10-year-old to a 19-year-old. I mean, the last 9 years, what you've experienced, what you've witnessed, and I don't share the horrible things that happened to me for your pity or your sympathy. I share because I don't want it to happen to you. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. I'm just a middle-aged white lady with a master's degree. No prior record. None of these charges have stuck. So, for no charges to stick and yet to be treated so violently, what are the repercussions? To have no food, no water, no blanket inside because they call it jail containment, which is just another word for solitary confinement. And jail containment, this is pre-charges, pre-judge, pre-anything, is up 33% for women. Prison sentences are up 9% for women. This is all connected to ICE. This is all connected to the global militarization goal of dehumanization. Violence becomes the norm. It's up to us to stay out of the way and comply and be obedient. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. Women, children, the elderly, we're supposed to protect them at all costs. We're supposed to be protected. Our bodies are supposed to be protected. And of course, the men too. But I'm going to focus on what they're doing to women because I've experienced it and I don't want you to experience it. So, season 2 is all about the Wampus Cubs. I can feel your pain. I can feel your hunger for change. And you see all these people protesting ICE in the streets and you see the violence. And I'm telling you, I've been protesting for 20 years. And I have to admit, I don't know how much good it's done. All the thousands of dollars and hours and time and stress I've put into marching in DC. I was arrested in DC with Susan Sarandon when they were locking up babies in cages in 2017, 2018. But what can we do online together? What can we do in our own neighborhoods together? How do we hold our cities accountable? Because we are in a race for the next 2 years to save cities, Wampus Cubs. I need Wampus Cubs to analyze your city's economic development plan because that is how the WEF and all the powers that be are creating these surveillance states, city by city. I have a whole white paper on it, a whole big analysis, page by page, of this cookie cutter consultant industrial complex method to carry out Agenda 2030. So while everybody's screaming and yelling about national politics, about global affairs, they are taking over our cities one by one. They wave huge incentives, they wave money around to get cities to agree to a city plan that serves Agenda 2030. The Great Hollowing, surveillance state, control, more people jailed, more people caged, more people dead. If you're not part of the machine, if you're not serving the machine, they see you as expendable. They see you as an annoyance. They see you as a problem to be defeated, just like they have me. But I'm going to keep howling, Wampus Cubs. And I'm dedicating season 2 to you. Daily show. I'm going to talk straight to you because I want to help protect you. I want none of you to ever be caged, to never experience the police brutality and the horrors that I have experienced. And as I say those words, a cop speeds down my road. Obviously not saying connected, but oh, you got to be careful out there, Wampus Cubs. And we are creating the resources. We are creating an emergency erasure app. And we need the Wampus Cubs. We need you. We need you to help save your cities. We need you to help save each other and protect each other and get each other out of these bad situations. 600,000 women per year are forced into involuntary psych holds. Every year in the US, that's 6 million women over the past 10 years whose lives have been either erased, disrupted. Because once you're caged, it changes you. It hardens you. I don't want any of that for you. You deserve a bright future because the future is unwritten. If you believe that statement, if you believe that we can actually make change together, if you believe we can save some of these cities, your city, I'm already seeing the effect of my city selling out. Already seeing the effects. And they love to target cities that are going through a hard time, that are recovering from disaster. My city's recovering from Hurricane Helene still. A once in 1,000-year storm, they called it. To compare to Katrina, which they called a once in a 400-year storm. So Wampus Cubs, ask me your questions. Check out my book. I lay it all out there. All the details, all the horrors are there. It's a warning. It's a guidebook. And it's a reflection of where we are, what the last 9 years have done to our country, and how we're saying no more. We do not accept the future that they've tried to write for us. I do not accept that future for you, Wampus Cubs. You deserve better. You deserve so much better than this. So keep howling. Spread the word. Reach out. We're launching a new program March 20th with the spring equinox. We need our first 9 Wampus cubs to step up. We're going to do deep dive into rematriation. We're going to talk about how to save your city, how to rematriate your life, your home, your community. You're going to help shape the rematriation rebellion, help us get the emergency erasure app live, because we need boots on the ground to make that work. It's got to be local. It's got to be real people that show up in person to uncage women, to get them out of solitary confinement, to get them out of involuntary psych holds. It takes phone calls. It takes actual human effort. So we need you. We need you to believe that things can be so much better, that we can extinct the patriarchy by 2034. All right. Big love, Wampus Cubs. Stay strong, stay safe, and remember, the future can always wish until morning.